Live in the studio, it's Wenton King. 10,000 days. Yeah, so here we are with our third Tool review. An interesting divergence. And then we're going back to our traditional stuff. But yeah, that's the packaging. That's the CD, which is awesome. I hate this. I can't. You could keep it, but I'm not going to keep it. I was throwing that away. I like the idea of not having the on the band, but it actually is on there. But the fact that's got to be thrown away. I don't have to throw it away, but I could do this or something. But I'm not gonna, am I? That's annoying, but oh man, look. Da-da-da. Goggles, 3D goggles. Doesn't work, but it's all pictures. I think they're pictures of the band. 4 pictures of maybe pictures of the band.
Is that 3D?
I don't know. There's one of them where there's 2 pictures. I know, yeah. Yeah, so some of this is 2 pictures, so you can 3D. That doesn't work.
I don't know.
But still, almost doesn't matter, it doesn't work. Yeah. That's just so cool. I like the stuff like that. It's a winter into the mind. Exploring the stuff. Something. Yeah. Yeah, this is really good. This is a really good band. And with the mythology of the band, and they're good at getting people to think of conspiracy theories that aren't really there, or sometimes they are there. That's cool, you know. 10,000 Days is the first track. This sounds like King Crimson. But it's been there all along, but it's in the guitar more now, which is interesting. The guitar now is as interesting as the drums. And the guitar is the same as the drumming. The guitars would have been going. I don't think that's changed, but it's always there. But King Crimson type stuff, yeah. Then track 2, turns out, when they toured with King Crimson, they toured with Meshuggah. So yeah, that's not metal. This is metal. I suppose. It's like you said. Opeth. If you're an Opeth fan, you'd find this a little bit tame, but this is the commercial end of that. So the rock people, this is like the weird stuff, but to us this is more commercial, I suppose. But step up from the previous, same style. It has developed. This is the next album. This is the progress rock. Their skill at constructing albums is much better. The album fits together. It's the same length, but it's not just loads and loads and loads of songs. It's not as dense. The music's allowed to breathe. Use the time to allow the songs to breathe, rather than just stuffing it with more stuff. I wouldn't have compared this to Justice for All. It wouldn't have occurred to me. Arpeggios as well. Arpeggios. Genesis. And there's something really Floydian. Animals. Lots of it made me think of animals. I keep hearing a little bit of sheep, maybe. And that the melancholy and stuff is like dogs. Maybe. It's not going to stand up.
Put that over there, sort of thing. Or fall over in a bit. Yeah. It's looking at you. Ooh.
Looking through you. Looking in the mirror. Looking through time and the drugs.
Yeah. So normally when we do a band, there's a very clear sort of progression. It's like we're looking at the second act of the band sort of thing. Starts off a little bit, oh, I can see what you're trying to do. It's not quite there. Then you get an album and it is there, and wow, that's good. Then you review the next album and it's like, yeah, it's kind of there, but they've lost it. Or whatever.
It just sounds the same.
It's not really like that. It does sort of change. It kind of progresses, but it's not as marked, I would say. It's a bit more like, well, okay, there is change, but it's not like, yeah, it's not like, don't know what to say really, defining the band, if you know what I mean. It's not like they've found themselves.
No.
This is always there.
They're on a journey. That's the thing. This one comes after the last one, and the last one comes after that.
Right, a bit of a journey then. Yeah, so it makes it a little bit difficult to review because we've said an awful lot already. A lot of what we can say about this we've said in the previous two sort of reviews, and we're going to struggle here. What I can say is, if you take something like PFM, it's very obvious what a good PFM song sounds like.
Yeah.
It's great musicianship, interesting yet sympathetic composition, lovely bit of piano.
Nice bit of piano.
And I don't think we can really do that with Tool. What makes a good Tool song?
Polyrhythms.
You start talking about production and stuff like that. It's well engineered, barely audible vocals.
I do not care about the vocals at all. They're really low in the mix.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me zoning them out.
Yeah.
I just do not care. Lyrics, yes. Vocals, no.
Yeah.
Same, boring, 3 notes.
Yeah. Good bass playing.
Yeah.
Jug guitars.
I know it's just really good production. I've really found listening to the bass.
Yeah.
It's separating the instruments out. And what's going on.
And you can probably also say that they have a lot of heavy sounds without being heavy, which is...
Depending on the standing of heaviness.
From the sounds they're using, you could get something that sounds a lot heavier. And that is a kind of achievement, really. The softer bits are better, I think. I think they're the best parts of the album. When they go a little bit soft, a little bit ambient. Although they got a bit of criticism for the ambience on this. But that's not really... It's not really... There are lots of bands that can do that use those sounds.
Yes.
Have good bass, have good production, well engineered. And that's not really a Tool. It's not really a Tool thing. And there are other bands like that. I would say. Like for example, I find it very difficult to define what makes a good Magma song.
Well, Magma, yeah. I mean.
But yeah, they're probably on the same bridge, but like these are just pushing OT3, Magma on OT8, and in the archives looking for some secret manuscripts,
Aliens and volcanoes and something.
That makes this. You need that to be that interesting, you know, to pull that off. They're not that interesting. Having said that, I find it very difficult to find a track I actually don't like, or I just say I don't like that. They all start off pretty interesting. I went through them all and yeah, and they all started. That's pretty good actually. I think I got to write in 2 before I thought it was a bit boring, which was the penultimate track. That was probably the first one I thought was a little bit boring. And I think that might be an American thing. American bands, certainly from the production side, work quite hard to think about the album from the audience's point of view. So there's a Joe Rogan recently interviewed the Black Keys. I'd never heard of the Black Keys, and it was an interesting interview. So I went to listen to the music. It's not my type of thing. It's like rock. But I found I liked it. Well, not liked it. I tolerated it. I could listen to it, put it on, and I wouldn't want to turn it off.
What was the genre? What did it sound like?
American rock.
Oh, okay.
And what it is, the bottom is, they spend a lot of time thinking about the audience. Getting something out isn't going to turn people off. Yeah, because they're thinking about who's going to listen to this. Whereas a lot of the bands we listen to, this is a piece of art, man. I'm expressing myself. If you don't like it, tough. This is what I've got to say.
Yeah.
And they're the opposite. Okay.
They think about their audience.
Yeah. Which means the rubbish stuff isn't that rubbish. Doesn't necessarily push the other stuff up.
Yeah. Somewhere in the middle.
I think that's Tool, basically. It's lots of very reasonably good stuff, but it never pushes onto the, oh my god, that's amazing.
So you probably, they're too trapped in their expectation and their audience. The commercial world they came from, however much they reject it.
Yeah, it's almost embedded in the culture. I think it's a cultural thing. It's not something they're thinking, oh, I've got to make this like this. It just naturally tends that way.
I bet they're actually fighting against it.
Probably.
But it's so entrenched. To us, it doesn't sound experimental. Just very good rock music. Lots of stuff going on that's real complicated.
Yeah. I actually quite like Tool, but I don't love them. This is...
Yes, I'm the same. Yeah.
It's been an interesting run, but I'm not gonna...
Yeah, we've done three albums anyway. There's only 5. This new one's out since August. Was it September? Actually, yes, of course, Geiger. It's not Geiger, but Brain Cell Surgery. It's like I said, they have these pointers to what they're like. Look, we're prog. We're not that boring 90s stuff. I think there's a big effort to,
But yeah, I think one of them said, you mentioned Jambi, but one of them said, there's some moments in that remind us of Meshuggah, because we're touring the Meshuggah sort of thing.
Yeah, but it's nowhere near as... To me, playing with Meshuggah takes me a while. Got to sit there and... Because it's really fast. It's not like learning to play something. You've got to learn the things. You've got to sit there and just...
You're learning techniques.
Fast, how fast can you do it? And that doesn't do that. It's just... So you can learn the rhythm and you can just do it. It'll always be those bands we'll compare it to. But for most people, certainly for Tool fans, they're going to come from the other direction. And this is prog. The extreme end of wow.
But yeah, there seems to be these... And then Meshuggah and Bill Hicks sort of thing. They're sort of like harvesting an identity from external sources.
Yeah. I think now I understand from on this album a bit about what the hell they're on about with Bill Hicks. It's the druggy thing, it's the hippie thing. Expanding your mind, man.
You said you don't care about the vocals, but the vocals are actually alright on parts of this. The Nickelback thing isn't there so much.
To me, the vocals are the bit that hasn't changed. At a certain time, I'm blocking it out.
Right.
Burning man.
I think it's the part has actual vocals in it.
Yeah. 90s. Nobody else will say that anywhere about this album. That's the great thing. And yet, so it's so obviously there. And also, because of learning to play things, the penultimate song, when I've heard it for the first time, I tried to play it along with bass, which I shouldn't have done. I should have picked the guitar. And I couldn't just play along with it. I had to stop and listen to it. One bar was quite long. So I did have to stop and think, okay, just just listening to you don't quite get that. It's just doodle-doodle, you know. I should have just picked up a guitar and just gone bing. You don't have to worry about the time, don't you? Trying to find it. It says something.
Maybe you can only read it once.
It disappears. Health and safety with the googles. Oh, here we go, yeah. The stereoscopic. I'll be providing as part of the packaging to enhance the artwork experience. Please use them safely. And don't use it for other purposes not recommended. Something volcano. When I read that, it was liability to volcano. That's just the name of the label. Just volcano. Yeah, so, okay. Let's talk about what it's about, because it is interesting. 10,000 days is one Saturn year.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Which is pretty much 27 years. And they're talking about at age 27. I don't know how old they were when they made this. Must have been older than 27. Maybe that's the point. Maybe between 2 and the 2 albums they turned 27. I don't know. Yeah, the idea is when you're at that age or maybe a little bit older is when you grow up. There's a time when you can become dead inside or lose your inhibitions and the crap from your childhood and awkwardness of youth and be free and live life and all that stuff. And I was thinking, interesting. Did I do that? I can't even remember being 27. I can remember being 25 and young. I remember being 30 and not being young. And I actually thought, crap, I was too obsessed with work. At that point, work was the thing. And I'm really trying to do it properly and that kind of stuff. For a bit I was worried. I thought maybe I'd missed it. Fallen by the wayside, and actually no, I didn't. I found that around that age there was a thing where I discarded my bullshit. I didn't stop my obsessions though. Old computers were put away, but came back when I had a midlife crisis. And I didn't stop the prog. But I think this is a really good album subject because I don't know if it's the whole album or just a couple of songs, but it's just 2 tracks or something. But it's also the length of time. His mother was paralysed at age 34 until she passed away, 27 years. She lived that long paralysed and then sort of finally free as she passed away. So that's a very personal thing for the band, obviously, heavy stuff. And it's all also about the 27 Club of people, rock stars who've died at 27, how they've survived even though they're druggy and all that stuff. And people who die at 27 like Hendrix, and I don't think if they think of Kurt Cobain.
I think they probably do.
He's not dead, come on. He's on his island with Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre's not dead, he's in my basement. Who's dead?
Elvis?
Oh, Elvis is dead, yeah. Tupac is the one who keeps releasing albums. Oh, he was so creative, just writing stuff all the time. Keeps releasing albums. There's people I don't think they're dead. A bit tasteless. But also, it's a universal thing about growing up, and you have to let go of your past and all that stuff. So it's universal. It's the perfect mix of Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here. They're very personal, very universal. So it's a brilliant concept. I don't know if it's the whole album, just the vocals. Lyrics are available online, apparently. It'd be ruin the awesome packaging. Oh yeah, in 3D. I can see 3D.
Nope.
You have to sort of go cross-eyed and focus on something.
Nope.
That's weird.
Well, maybe afterwards. Give me a couple of hours. Crossing my eyes.
Yeah, so they get. So yeah, it is interesting that there were times there was complaints that they were just doing the next Tool album. They're tooling. Which I think is a bit disingenuous.
There's a change, but it wasn't.
But well, they suddenly sound like Yes. It was,
It would actually fit with the theme.
they're growing up.
You would expect with that theme to be a change.
The guitarist has, but the drums are still already very sophisticated, doing what they're doing. Vocals are the same. Oh, you thought they're different, actually, didn't you? I think the idea that it's not prog is it should be a journey. That's why you listen to bands. It's cool to listen to only one song by band. You hear the journey that a band makes, but it's not that now they've done a country album. It's not supposed to what it's be. It's supposed to be a progression. You can't expect people to go from Yes album to Fragile to Close to the Edge to Topographic. That's it. Or Foxtrot to Selling England to The Lamb or whatever. That's amazing moments of change. You can't expect that. But there is a journey. Okay. Lisbon 2, Lisbon 3, Lisbon 4, Houses of the Holy, Physical Graffiti. That's a journey. That's awesome. That's impressive as a journey. This sort of weird detour with Houses of the Holy. It doesn't have to make that huge leap. Always. That's almost the end of their muse. With the LP. So they'd done brain salad surgery. They'd finished their careers. They were just making some more albums. And they tried with works, but they didn't quite, they sort of destroy their muse by going so far. Or something. And it's these guys who intellectually really believe that. And the drugs and all that stuff. And, eyes. Always watching. What do you think of it? I really want to give it 5 eggs. But for me personally, it's a 4 egg album. Which is a shame.
Yeah, good question. As I say, the individual tracks I quite like actually. It's the whole.
Okay.
That doesn't really appeal to me for some reason.
This is much more of an album for me.
Yeah, but it is, but it is strange. As I say, if I try to identify bits I didn't like, I find it very difficult actually.
Yeah.
Or it might be that some of the songs are so ridiculously long that I kind of tune out by the time the bad bit comes in. But yeah, for some reason, it's not pulling me in. Although, if someone told me they were a fan of Tool, I kind of understand it.
Yeah, Tool, yeah, great, yeah. You'd be impressed that I like Tool, rather than Tool.
Actually, of the 3 albums, this is the first one I've managed to sit down and make an attempt to listen to and try and get into without being completely...
Not having it foisted upon you.
It's a strong 4 album, maybe.
Yes. Yeah, with reservations for 5 eggs.
Yeah.
Put it back now.
It's unlikely that I'll listen to it to give it a 5 egg album.
Because the truth is, I'm not going to put it on anytime soon. But if I did, there's lots of other music to listen to.
I listen to MDK in the shower now. Mad, innit?
You should put on what's it called? The last minutes, last 10 minutes, last 10 minutes. Can't remember the name of the song. You can have a show really quick.
Yeah, I know the beginning of MDK really well.
Yeah. It's not fair. But invoking something like magma is not fair. This is awesome music. You can't, magma. This is good music. It's great music. I like that kind of thing. You should definitely buy it. And I think that's the best one.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Great stuff. We did it.
I think you got a really hard job there, kid.
There we go. Oh no, it doesn't have to fit. I will not. I'll move it around. I'll have to move it a little bit because it'll start to get not where That's okay.
But I think you'll find there's bits where we couldn't quite hear what we were saying.
Yeah, and we just go that's good. That's the whole idea of it. Because unfortunately, it was quite good for you. I didn't think it would be that good, but never mind. The audio's there on that, so if they want it. Maybe Patreons get the one without us talking over it. It was hard work though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mine's going to be really monotone. You're actually trying to put the...
I was feeling it. I was actually saying it differently to what... Yeah.
I was...
Repeat the words as best you can.
Yeah. Concentrating really hard.
We don't have to ever do that again. That's the thing. We've done it. But I think it's funny. And it's more important that it's funny than us saying anything.